So it's very nice being here. My name is Francesco again. I'm CEO and co-founder of a company called Osmosis, and what we're doing is transforming molecular separations. Was based here in Cambridge. But before going into really what we're doing, I wanted to take you a little bit through the journey of Osmosis through my own experience. So when I first came to MIT, I was a PhD student back in Italy, and I emailed Professor Zachary Smith at the Department of Chemical Engineering and really wanted to come to MIT to start working on projects that he was involved. And he was kind enough to give me a chance, he took a chance on me, gave me the opportunity to come here and to work with some incredible, amazing people, really getting the experience that MIT is all about. Incredible smart people working on the most important problems with chemists, chemical engineers, and I was lucky enough to experience everything that is here around. I really fell in love with research. I fell in love with campus and the energy around, the people you meet, and I wanted to come back as a postdoc. So what's the catch when you need to come back as a postdoc is that you need funding. So what we did, we started looking into what are the interesting things that we can do, and MIT Deshpande Center was top of the list. So we applied, we were lucky enough to get the grant, and I got my opportunity to come back to MIT, to come back to Boston. On top of that, I was fortunate to get also an MIT Energy Fellowship and also be part of the MIT Sandbox initiative. So really a lot of incredible communities. But the Deshpande Center was unique in a way that taught me a lot of what was gonna be the next 5 years of my life, because in 2019 is when we applied, and I came back. My first IdeaStream talk was in 2020. We didn't have the photographer because it was remote, so definitely I don't have memories of that event. It was virtual, but it was great, and it taught me a lot of the things that I need now to lead the organization as a CEO. Really thinking about technologies not just from the point of view of its properties, but for the value that it creates for organizations. And also leadership, because the Deshpande Center works that you lead quarterly meetings where you basically do like board meetings type of experiences, update people that are important in the organization. So customer discovery, a lot of things that really make a difference. But most of all, the people. So I got the opportunity to work with Professor Tinswager, Leon, thanks again for the introduction, and Karen, incredible people. But Rana mentioned the catalyst. Samir Bharadwaj was my catalyst in 2019, and still one of the people that I really rely on as a mentor, taught me a lot, and I'm so grateful for what the Deshpande Center did to me for this point of view as well, and the relationship and friendship that we have still today. Orbi is also an investor in our company. Also maybe less typical, but I also met my girlfriend at the very first pitch event of the Deshpande Center. She was a grantee too. She pitched about malaria and drug discovery, eradicating malaria, brought it up that malaria is a word that comes from bad air, from Italian word malaria, which is like bad air. And I was so proud to start my next page saying that Italians didn't just bring pasta, but also contributed to eradicate malaria somehow. So really amazing journey. Fast forward 2021, after 2 years with the Deshpande Center, really worked hard with different programs, MIT, I-Corp, Activate, 100K competition. Eventually, we got funded by The Engine with my co-founders, Holden Lai and Catherine Mizrahi-Rodriguez. Been working on this for the past almost 3 years, and now we're building prototypes, piloting with customers, and these are all the amazing partners that we're working with. But I promised you I was going to tell you a little bit more about what Osmosis actually does. So the problem that we're solving is molecular separation, and this is because the cost of unmixing, separating, and purifying molecules in the industry and for the environment is huge. We're talking 15% of the world's energy that is wasted on inefficient molecular separations, and this is because we still rely on century-old technologies based on thermal processes to run these separations. We talk a lot about decarbonization, hitting net zero, and let me tell you that there's no way we're going to hit those goals if we don't bring innovation in how we perform separations. So our mission is to rebuild industrial infrastructure where separations are not a bottleneck to a cleaner future anymore. Traditional separations, as Rana was mentioning, really work on boiling of components. They're thermal. They're very effective, but are energy intense because you literally need to boil off those components to get the purity that you want, and you can deliver value to customers. So membranes bring a different approach. They operate as molecular filters, and they separate molecules based on their size or their chemical properties. The problem with traditional membranes is their poor separation performance. And when you have poor separation performance, you have high operating cost, and operating cost leads to poor adoption and eventually doesn't deliver on the impact that membranes can have, which is why we've been developing a new generation of membrane technologies that are very effective and check all the boxes. They deliver on the low energy consumption, but also have exceptional separations. In particular, our high selectivity leads to lower operating cost, and our high flux miniaturizing makes the capex of our equipment smaller, making it a real good case against traditional separations, which is really where the impact and everything starts. So we've been doing so and developing so by commercializing breakthrough science. When we were in the lab at MIT and Stanford, Holden actually has his PhD from Stanford University, we developed a new platform of ladder polymers that when manufactured into membrane technologies, which means very thin films, they leave behind porosities that have similar size to that of gas molecules. And let me stress gas molecules, so important because those are the smallest molecules on Earth. So separating them based on size, it is breakthrough science. And we have a lot of people that are excited about this, and they supported us, as I was mentioning before. There's a lot of gases in the world. We have a platform technology, but as a startup company, you need to start somewhere and focus. Our beachhead market is in the hydrogen space. We believe in hydrogen as a key vector of energy in the energy transition. And separations play an important role in lowering the energy consumptions associated with producing or distributing that hydrogen, but also lowering the carbon intensity, triggering for instance, incentives like from the IRA or the 45V, right? So a lot of impact to be done. But we can play a role in upgrading biogas to biomethane or renewable biomethane, oxygen production from air. We've proven also carbon capture at point source, refrigerant reuse, and helium harvesting from dilute resources. This is already a $10 to $15 billion market today that is projected to grow up to $35 billion by 2030. We already told you a little bit about the funding team, but our expertise were in material science, chemical engineering, and chemistry. And really to deliver on this mission and our dream, we needed to bring together a lot of people, super talented. We relocated them from all over the world. They have experience from all over the world. And the most convincing thing that I tell them, right, when we work together and we try to bring them here is like, you're gonna come into the most innovative square mile on planet. And every day I'm reminded of that when I'm going around and when I meet people and I bounce into incredible humans. Now we are a team of more than 20 people. We bring 200 years of experience in product development and manufacturing, process and field engineering, and also business development and operations. And we're scaling up commercial operations now that our product is actually going to be going in the field very soon. 2024 and 2025 are going to be key years for this. So always there's an ask, if you know someone or you are someone that has potential opportunities in the gas separation space, in particular in hydrogen, please, scan this QR code, reach out to us. We're really looking for feasibility studies to run together, field pilots, demonstration plans, lots that can be done. So you got a sense of what we spent doing in the last couple of years. Full steam ahead now, bringing the technology in the field, working and piloting with customers, and we hope we can actually deploy commercial solutions by 2027. So if I try to summarize in the last minute some of the takeaways and why this experience for me at the Despanda Center has been transformative, I have identified a couple of things. The first one is it's super important to create excitement around entrepreneurship as a rewarding tool to solve big challenges. And I think the Despanda Center does an incredible job at that, starting from academia. Financial and laboratory space support is key for founders to spin out. And the engine model, I think, is working extremely well. We are funded by the engine, and we work actually at the engine. Offering education about building a product that solves customer problems is incredibly important. So focus on value proposition, not just on the technology. Leon, the first thing that told me, make sure you're not building a product that solves a problem that nobody has. and that also stuck with me a lot and still drives us. Initiate prestigious awards and competitions so that people are excited to apply for them, facilitate transfer of intellectual property between university and startup, and the most important thing, build a community of like-minded people at different stages of development to learn from one another. And I think that is the most powerful thing and the reason why I came back to Boston to build this organization and bring together so many amazing people. So I hope this provided a little bit of context of why separations matter, why Osmosis is uniquely positioned to solve this challenge. And please join us in our journey where we believe that the smallest molecules can meet the biggest opportunities in the energy transition. So thank you so much for having me.